Hi, everybody, and hi, Hack Mankind. I'm here with Dr. Clint G. Rogers. Dr. Clint is our spirituality expert, and honestly, he's the only person I approached to do the job because I wanted somebody with a heart of abundance, with somebody that lived in a very special place, with somebody that could be not just accepting, but acknowledging of everybody from wherever they've come from in their lives, whatever their journey is, and can help give some perspective on any challenges they may face. So, with that, Clint, it's so good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. I know that you've got monsoons around you at the moment, so I appreciate the effort, and I'm sure everybody else does. And you're here to talk today about fear and ego, I believe.
Yeah, thank you, Peter. Thank you, Peter, Adam, the whole staff, Jessica, everybody that's involved in creating such an amazing community that we're a part of. I'm so excited for today's topic. What if in this next 20 minutes you learn some secret, one or two things that really can change your entire perspective, your existence, your relationships, everything. So that's why I'm excited for today. And I'm gonna share a story, two stories, and then end with some questions you can ask yourself. I actually invite you to journal these questions because they're so powerful, so life-changing. So for those who saw the last recording, we talked about this story where Dr. Naram really wanted to learn from his master. He saw his master doing amazing things. This person, Baba Ramdas, actually I have a picture of him right here. So Dr. Naram was witnessing this man do amazing things and he wanted to learn from him. So he kept going every day, and every day Baba Ramdas would say, come tomorrow. So he'd come tomorrow. He said, come tomorrow. So he went tomorrow. Again, Baba Ramdas says, come tomorrow. This happened for 100 days. So first of all, have you ever been so passionate about something? You wanted it so badly that you'd show up for 3 months and the person just says, come tomorrow, and you just keep coming tomorrow. So that told you about it, the level of passion that he had. Finally, after 3 months, Dr. Ram said, Baba Ramdas, I don't care what you say. I'm committed. Today, I'm going to stand here like a rock. I'm not going to go to the bathroom. I'm not going to go to the toilet until you finally commit to teach me. Baba Ramdas kind of laughed. He's like, oh, who decides? Dr. Ram says, I decide. Baba Ramdas says, maybe that's your problem. And Dr. Ram he says he's kind of like a Zen master. And the way he describes a Zen master is when you throw something at some people, usually they react. But he said Baba Ramdas would respond. So this whole story unfolded until finally Dr. Ram was standing there 3, 4, 5 hours watching Baba Ramdas, and all of a sudden squirming because his bladder was bursting, really needing to go. And Baba Ramdas says, oh, Dr. Ram, looks like you need to use the toilet. He's like, yes. He's like, then go use the toilet. And Dr. Ram said, no, I want to learn. And Baba Ramdas said, oh, no problem, then come tomorrow. Okay. So just in short, Dr. Ram started crying. And so Baba Ramdas, his heart was softened. He says, okay, I'll teach you. He's like, what do I do first? Baba Ram says, go to the toilet. So he went to the toilet, came back. Oh, hey, Milo, you want to talk too? Okay, I want to introduce you real quick. This beautiful dog that's with me. Milo, you want to say hi? Oh, he wants some love here. He's like, I want to enjoy this recording.
I want to be part of this. Who can blame him?
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna pet his head. This is a miracle dog. Like when you talk about real miracles, this dog showing up at a certain time in my life is nothing short of a miracle. I never knew him before. And then at my darkest hour, he just started following me around. I went walking at 5:30 in the morning. He started walking, just following me, and since then hasn't left my side. I don't know what to say. I mean, it's really, I could tell the whole story sometime, but I'll just finish this part of it. Dr. Om came back from using the bathroom, and he says, okay, I'm ready to learn these ancient secrets, these powerful ancient secrets. And Baba Ramdas said, super, how many people use the toilet today? I don't know, 30, 40. Super. So go and clean the toilet. Dr. Om was shocked. He's a doctor in India, a certain, people clean the toilet. So Dr. Om said, oh, I think you misunderstand. I don't want to learn how to clean the toilet. I want to learn these ancient secrets. Baba Ramdas says, oh, you want to learn the ancient secrets? Okay, no problem. Come tomorrow. And then Dr. Om went and cleaned the toilets as fast as he could. He didn't want to come back tomorrow. So he came back, and Baba Ramdas said, okay, let me check your work. Dr. Om says, why? I just want to check your work. No, I cleaned the toilets. I'm gonna check your work. So he goes over, they look, he's like, Dr. Ram, this is a horrible job. You missed this spot, it smells bad here, it's dirty still here. How do you expect to clean the body, souls, minds, emotions of men and women? You can't even clean a toilet. Dr. Ram was so shocked. Baba Ram Dass taught this secret, which I shared on the last call, that I'm wondering in this last recording, how many of you have followed this secret? And do you remember the secret? The secret to succeed in anything. What is it? Baba Ram Dass says, to succeed in anything, whatever you do, you give 100%. Whether it's cleaning the toilet, whether it's being with this dog, whether it's eating food, whether it's being with your children, whatever you do 100%. And Dr. Ram, you did not do 100%. So then Dr. Ram went and cleaned the toilet with his percent, made it so spotless you could eat off the floor, you know? And then he came back and Baba Ram Dass, he said, now I want to learn. Please start my instruction. Baba Ram Dass said, no, your instruction already started. Your teaching already started. And Dr. Ram revealed, actually, this is in chapter 5 of this book, Ancient Secrets of a Master Healer. What he was really doing to Dr. Ram was a couple things. One was, he says that anytime fear and ego are there, you can't see yourself clearly and you can't see others clearly. So a big part of the training of the healing wasn't the technical aspects of how do you become a healer, but it was actually how do you become someone through which healing can happen naturally. He said there's knowing, there's doing, and there's being. You know, you go to a school, you learn knowing, sometimes you learn how to do stuff, but where do we learn being? Where do we learn the basics of how to be? And through a whole lot of challenge activities like that, Baba Ram Dass broke down Dr. Ram's ego and also helped him face his fears. So my question for you, Peter, and anyone watching this, where is it that ego and fear actually impedes your ability to see clearly? Where does it impede your ability to see yourself and to see others clearly? Dr. Ram said one of the greatest gifts his master ever gave him was certain challenge activities through which he could face himself and discover himself beyond the fear and ego. All right, Peter, I know you said you had a question you wanted to ask me or something you wanted to go into.
I think it's beautiful. I was actually due to have a second tattoo written or inscribed, done, I don't know what the verb is, before when COVID hit and it got cancelled. So this one, as I share with people, this one says, iterate with, this one says, in Latin, I will find a way or make one. Wow. And I was due to have another one here, but it got cancelled because of COVID. And it actually, it's a phrase I live by, and it's iterate without ego or emotion. And I think it's very, very similar to what you're saying. I was taught by someone far less wise than the people you're referring to, but very similar. And he said, always be proud, always put yourself in a position where you're proud of the effort, but never be proud of the output. And I love that. It's my test for myself is, can I look in a mirror at the end of the day and say, I'm proud of the interactions I've had today? Am I proud of my day? Yes or no? And if it's no, what I find is that when I teach this to other people, they end up in this spiral of self. I'm like, well, stop. This isn't about hating yourself. This isn't an emotional view of yourself. This is just a yes-no question. From that yes-no question, you move on to iteration, you change. So if you're not proud of yourself, apologize to yourself, apologize to anybody else that might have impacted, but then just move on. That's it, and it's done. And people say, what if that person can't accept the apology? I'm like, that's up to them. You can't step into that space. So I love what you said. And I think it's incredibly profound. And I actually, you've reminded me of another story very quickly. So a friend of mine used to be the VP of mobile for eBay, a gentleman called Steve Yankovic. Now, Steve and I have kept in touch for about 10 years. He's an amazing individual. He's very philosophical in his approach to business, which gives him really good insights. And he wants to put a book together, which I've begged him to do. And it all came about when he got somebody to do an outside building next to a swimming pool. And the guy was doing the wiring, so the electrician. And before the plasterboard went on, before the cladding went on, the guy was aligning all of the wires on the inside into next to the joints, so everything was at right angles and straight. Now, if you've ever taken a piece of plasterboard off behind wiring, you'll know that's not normally the way it's done. Right? There's just wires everywhere. It's just crazy. There's just wires absolutely everywhere because they're going to be hidden, so it doesn't matter what they look like. And this is something that Steve Stockton reflected on for months as to why did it matter that this guy got all of this wiring straight? And the reason he came back with is because it's a level of artistry that infers the quality of everything else that the guy's done. Right? The fact that the lines are straight is totally irrelevant. But if he goes to that level of detail, then you know what's behind it. And I think that's true of humans as well, Clint. If everybody is on time to a meeting, you know they care about timekeeping. If everybody keeps to their commitments, then you can trust their commitments. And I think that as human beings, I think we extrapolate very quickly from these small things into very big generalizations about people, which is why I think it's so important that you get them right. And I just love that story of an electrician that spent hours getting these cables straight when it makes no difference whatsoever, but it does. We all know it does, because it means that everything else he did had the same level of care. I think that's kind of what I take away from what you said. I can see a lot of parallels. But let's just see if we can give someone one tip then. And I do want to keep this brief today. If somebody's in that space of fear and ego, because we all go back there, if we're being honest. I think, I don't know about the Dalai Lama, but I imagine every single human being at some point, no matter how enlightened they may become, no matter how self-aware they are, no matter how much they live in abundance, can still flip into a state of fear and ego. Do you have any advice, apart from find a stray dog, of how you, or let a stray dog find you, I should say, of how you get yourself out of that?
Yeah, great question. Really great question. First of all, is just being aware of it, because we're like fish in water. Sometimes it's happening and we think it's us. We think it's just natural. In fact, there's one, I'll just read this little section from the book. Hearing this story, this is just as I was hearing Dr. Ahm's story, I began to question, how does my ego affect me? So just asking yourself, how does your ego affect you? How do my fears impact my life? How do both blind me to not see myself or others clearly? How do they influence the way I am in relationships with my family, at work, in my spiritual life? And I recalled an experience I had a few months before the trip to India. Just one second. All right. So I just remembered an experience I had before I went to India, where I was teaching a course. I was actually coordinating a university program through Finland. And one of the guys, a graduate student from the Netherlands, wrote me such a bitter email to tell me how much he disliked the way I was coordinating the whole thing. And I felt so misunderstood and angry. Everyone else was complimenting me. So what was wrong with this guy? So instead of listening and asking more questions to understand his point of view, I attacked him by pointing out all the ways in which his argument was short-sighted, trying to invalidate his opinion. Basically, I was defending myself and attacking him through it. I told him that some people on the project were dissatisfied with the contributions he was being paid for. Not only did I miss an opportunity to learn something about myself and improve the project, I failed to see him clearly. Only later I discovered that he was depressed and experiencing a personal life low. Instead of being part of the solution in his life, I magnified the problem. Listening to Dr. Ahm, I contemplated how many times in my life I failed to see things clearly because of my fears and ego. Looking back, I realized just how confused and insecure I often felt, wanting people to like me, wanting to appear more successful than I was. I would even lie about stupid things to try and influence someone's perception of me or hide a mistake I made. All these things were byproducts of a deeper issue, fear and ego. I asked myself, if I wasn't as influenced by my fear and ego, how would my life change for the better? So I have a couple challenge activities for you to do. One of them is play the game of understanding. Dr. Ram has said, as Master said, in the last 5,000 or how many thousand years of human history, the greatest need people have isn't love, but it's understanding. So instead of reacting, what if you try and just understand? Play a game. If someone is, even if they're giving you a compliment, Dr. Ram said this. He says, whenever we take either a compliment or an insult at face value, either way, we become independent. Why? Because if someone gives us a compliment and we need it, then we need more. We become anxious and dependent. Someone gives us an insult, then we become anxious and dependent. So instead of whatever it is, just play a game of understanding. Don't automatically think you know, but just understand them until they feel understood. Like, it's a really powerful thing you can do. Understanding doesn't mean agreeing, but just understand. I mean, what if in the situation today we find ourselves in, more people played this game? I just want to understand you. I want to understand you so fully. And you repeat back to that person until they say, yeah, you got it. It's just a very powerful activity you can do. And then the second thing is, we're so afraid of being judged. We think we have something we need to prove or people we need to impress. But I want you to play this game too, which is admit some mistake that you made to someone. Like, if you say that, you can say this phrase, if I can't, then I must. And if you've made a mistake or you're embarrassed about something, I want you to play this game where you actually tell it. You can find someone you feel safe with, but you just admit it completely and fully. Whatever is the mistake that you made, whatever is that thing that you did, and just have that experience of facing that fear and see what happens on the other side of it. And then next time when we come back, I'm going to share with you another secret that Dr. Ram shared, which basically has to do with how you can overcome any fear. Whatever is the fear, how you can face it, how you can overcome any fear. There's some specific practical tips and like challenge activities that you can do, but this is a great start to do these two things. One is understand, really seek to understand. Not to make any point, not to say they're right, they're wrong, but just so they feel that you understand them. And second of all is find someone to just admit something that you've done, a mistake that you've made, something like just reveal yourself, show yourself. Oh, now Milo's excited to go, so I'm gonna have to go take him out so he can pee or walk or whatever it is that he wants to do. But I'm so glad to be here with you, Peter, and look forward to talking with you guys all next week.
And you, thank you so much, Clint. You've been here with Peter Swain from Hack Mankind and Dr. Clint G. Rogers. 2 games you need to go and play. Understand yourself and understand others, number 1. Number 2, admit to those mistakes. Clint, until next week, thank you so much. Bye, Milo.
Yeah, he's barking. He says goodbye, everyone. Namaste.
Bye-bye.